Okay. Well, I got to tell you, this is a lot rougher than I was hoping it was going to be, and I'm trying to get all this over with because it's what happened afterwards is really worth sharing. But I got to tell you, I after doing that last one, I come in, went to bed, and Vicky was mostly asleep and mumbled, grumbled something about covers. And boy, I like to bit her head off. Thank God she was asleep, didn't even hear me. But I realized after making that last video, I was mad as hell, you know. Uh, so let's just continue on. Because I want to get past this yet again. I can tell you where I lost it all was that deposition where your mom was lying about where she'd been and everything. So her lawyer's asking me, so Gary, do you want custody of the kids? And I said, of course I want custody of the kids, or at least joint equal custody. And my lawyer says, let's stop right here, man. I want to talk to my client here. So we step outside and he says, Gary says, her lawyer told me that if you wanted custody of those kids, they're going to bring up the fact that you and Doug, I won't mention last names, and a fellow named Bob were playing around with cocaine. And if they drag them people into court, it's going to be pretty hard on them. And I'm thinking, holy shit. I said, we're getting it from her slippery old man boyfriend, and she snorted it herself. And he said, well, shit, if that comes out that she snorted it too, then child services will come and take your kids just on that evidence alone. And I'm thinking, my God, what the hell was she thinking? He said, I don't think she's thinking. I think this is a big gamble. And I'm thinking, well, she knows me that well because I'm not about to ruin one family and another guy, my best friend's careers. And I think she knew I wouldn't. But that was a hell of a stupid gamble. I should have. I've always wished I'd have just gone ahead and said, well, she was doing it herself. So let it fall that way. But I didn't. I couldn't. I still couldn't. I'm sorry, So I go back in and he asked me the question again. So do you want custody of your kids? And I said, and I mean, I know the hate was pouring out of my eyeballs. And I said, no. And she got this disgusting smile on her face like she'd won some big battle or something. And I just right then, every good feeling I'd ever had for that woman just poured out of me. There was nothing but sheer hatred for that bitch. Just so you know, that was it. From then on, I thought, no matter what kind of deal we end up making, it's all under this blackmail bullshit, and I'm not going to be holding to it. I might say I'll do something, but it's all because of this blackmail bullshit. Otherwise, I still wanted joint equal custody. I wanted to raise my kids. Okay, so there it went. Um, I tell you, that still brings out some evil feelings there because I know I gave in to hate for a year. You remember that heavy bag in the shop in the garage? I beat that thing to death. That's also when I started drinking that whiskey. It's because I knew I had to hang around until it was over. And I did. And it was after she jerked the kids back that I said, all right, it ain't going to happen. That's when I bought the camper. And I knew, I was going to have to leave. So I ended up leaving, My God. That ripped everything out of my heart. And especially right then, boy, all it would have took was a wrong word said and I could have gutted her like a fish. Anyway. So I left. And I'm just going to stop this one because I'm already in too bad a mood to continue. But now we're through. We're through with my life in Florida. My poor girls, my kids. I mean, I got to admit, I knew when I left. One, She'd already pulled you out of the Catholic school and taken you to So.Dak, of all places, a witch's coven. And I had told her, I said, woman, you better be damn careful what kind of spirits you're inviting into your family by going there. I don't think she understood that at all. I'm not sure she still does. But all you have to do is look at your family and realize what went on. Because she invited evil into her house. Deception. Anyway, I couldn't handle that. I couldn't handle that. Luckily, on the good side is I had kept that counseling going for a year. Just me. She turned me on to some things that really have stuck with me, and I want to make sure I damn sure never went through that again. And she was one of my two witnesses for the annulment. The other was my spiritual director, my priest from Crescent City. So I knew both of them knew everything there was to know about me. Sometimes I look at what I wrote, and my God, was I immature. But anyway, I turned me on to Weeds Among the Wheat, which is a book that everybody ought to read. It's not a fun book, but it's an educational book because it's a book on discerning good and evil spirits in your life, mostly in your emotions. And the other one was Open Mind, Open Heart, which was how to become passive in prayer. That's another book I'd highly recommend everybody got. It's Open Mind, Open Heart. I did that for a year. Anyway, so McHugh come down. I remember I took off. McHugh come down to help me sell out. I wasn't going to keep that job if I couldn't have my kids. I was going to get the hell out of Florida. A nasty environment, especially before I hurt somebody. So we just sold it for whatever we could get. To hell with it. It didn't make nothing to me no more. I was out of there. I had to get out of there quick. So we left, and I went back to South Dakota, and I knew my kids had just been jerked right out of the Catholic Church, and they're going to grow up basically spiritually ignorant. And had enough. That was reason enough right there. But anyway, I'm stop right here. I guess this would be chapter 18, I think.